Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about where do we actually get rabbits, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons on each place of where to go. So this is going to be a long video. This is Kibby. Hi. And I'm going to do some chores while we talk. So let's get started. Okay, so I meant to film while I was doing all the chores, but I left my tripod upstairs and I forgot about it and I needed both hands. So we're going to do the talking now. So anyway, where do we get rabbits? You've got a few options. You can go on Craigslist and find some people filming your rabbits. Or their rabbits. Which, the pros are they're usually free or cheap. Cons are they usually are not well taken care of. And oftentimes, they just are not... They are gotten by people who didn't think about what they were getting. And here's the thing. They don't give the rabbits the attention that they need because they don't realize what really goes into taking care of a rabbit. Next is a pet store. Pros, again, a little bit cheaper. Cons, they get their rabbits extremely young in most cases. Like, there's a pet store in Salt Lake. I called them and I asked, just out of curiosity. They require to get theirs at 6 weeks. I said in my last video, a rabbit should not be leaving its mom. Okay, maybe barely weaning at 6 to 7 weeks. But they should not be sold for 8 weeks. I don't even start the weaning process until between 7 and 8 weeks. And I won't sell my rabbits often until 12 weeks. This isn't a sales video. Another con of pet stores is they don't have biosecurity. That meaning anybody can hold those rabbits. Here's the thing. There's RHDV2, Pasteurella, coccidiosis. There's so many things that a rabbit can get and get sick just by being held by anybody. So there's that, and also they are kept with guinea pigs. Again, not an animal they should be really being kept with. Also, when you go to a pet store, you are given wrong information when you ask them. So honestly, like, there's just so many things that can go wrong when you go to a pet store, and they encourage these cheap pet foods that you really shouldn't give. If you're doing pets, the only food I will recommend that's a pet brand food is Oxbow. Now, I actually use Mana Pro, which is a breeder food and honestly better for the rabbits. It's a complete pellet, and I will go over different pellets in another video, which I have planned. But the Oxbow pellet, like I said, with that being said, they encourage things like Katie, the ones with the little colors in them. I'm sorry, but not a good food for rabbits. Same goes for those with guinea pigs. Okay, so along with the pet stores and bad things that they encourage, they also often try to push balls and wheels. Rabbits don't need a ball and they don't need a wheel. There's a lot of good toys, and I'm actually got another video planned to go over toys and many other things, but pet stores try to push the wrong toys. Okay. Next is backyard breeders. Kind of go along with the pet people who just sell their rabbits because they didn't know what they were doing. Backyard breeders try to sell their rabbits as young as possible, often as young as 3 weeks. We do not So backyard breeders should be an absolute no. They don't practice biosecurity. They keep their rabbits in tiny cages and crammed. They don't, they give a lot of bad information. Backyard breeders are all about the money. They don't really care about their animals in most cases. They push all this bad stuff. Their cages are usually dirty. They have animals that really should not be being bred. They will breed anything. They will mix breed just because they can. They get their rabbits. They don't usually care what it is. And also often, backyard breeder will sell a rabbit as something other than what it is. Example, a mini Rex. I was going to get her to stand up, but she's eating. So, mini Rexes have really dense, pretty fur, and I actually am going to have a video on them. And there are mixed breeds that are always sold as mini Rex, which they may have Rex in them, but they are not a mini Rex. Ethical breeders versus, and so the next thing I wanted to talk about with the backyard breeders is they sell rabbits with, they will sell just to sell. They won't hold a rabbit back because they're sick. They will sell you things with like teeth issues, just, or split penis, or anything that is really just not good for a rabbit. So there's that. Next is the rescues. Pro, if you're wanting a rabbit that's fixed, usually they come fixed. Rescues try to help you too. So I'm not going to say rescues are all bad. There are some really bad rescues and there are some really good rescues. You just got to look into and do the research into the rescues that you're going to. Now here's some cons. Rescues are all about no cages, free roaming, which is okay with some rabbits, but there are a lot of rabbits that will just eat anything in around, honestly. And there's a lot of things like carpet that they can eat. Your table legs, the couches, your clothes, cords. Free roaming, honestly, I don't necessarily think is right unless you can guarantee all that they're all safe. Cages, as long as it's 36 by 30 or 30 by 30, I think they're fine. And wire cages really do not hurt rabbit feet, and we've got another video on that coming up. Lastly, ethical breeders. Here's the pros. You've got somebody there for you that rabbit's whole life. We will not turn our back on it. Now, we might not always be able to bring it into the rabbitry, but we will help you find a way to rehome it too. We try to make sure that we know where the rabbits came from. We make sure that we know their history. We make sure they're safe and that they're good-tempered, good health. We won't breed anything that's crap quality, or not crap quality, but like things that really just should not be bred. And honestly, anything with health issues, we are not going to sell them because honestly, it's not humane to really keep a lot of these animals alive with some of the health issues that come along, like teeth. Malocclusion, depending on how it looks, really is not fair to keep them alive. Snuffles or pasteurella. Rabbits get cold for that. Split penis, again, should be a cull because it can cause urine scald. So, with an ethical breeder, we do the hard part on having to choose what really should be out there versus what shouldn't. We also generally know how to do a lot of medical stuff and know how to do things that can prevent you having to take your rabbit to the vet. Because if you can do it for yourself, you, one, keep your rabbit from being stressed out, which, here's the thing, rabbits like to die. Not that they really like to die, but they die so easily from heart attacks, broken backs, just anything can cause them to die. And um, while there's usually a reason, it's just they do. Blockages, which you might not have known, again, why you shouldn't have a free roam rabbit, because of the shit they eat. And the shit that they eat can cause a blockage, which you've got to try to get through, and man, most of the time kills the rabbit. What else? We also can teach you how to trim their nails. To how to groom them properly, how to check them, how to move them onto their back safely so that they're not getting hurt. And how to do a proper health check. When you get it from an ethical breeder, we have handled those rabbits since the day they are born. A rabbit that is handled from the day they are born, like almost instantly after they come out of their mom and everything, we hold them, we check them, make sure they're healthy, and we have to hold them every day to, one, make sure they're alive, make sure they're being fed. We know the rabbit's history when we're selling our babies. We can tell you, is this rabbit right or safe for you? The other thing with breeders, again, we have rescues too. Most breeders don't agree with necessarily getting your rabbits fixed, because a fixed rabbit, or getting a rabbit fixed, is actually a high danger, because anesthesia, and honestly, I've heard of more rabbits dying from it than I've heard of dogs and cats. So I don't really recommend most small animals, like rabbits, guinea pigs, chinchillas. I don't really recommend them being fixed or anything. But, yeah, there's that. We also know the breed. You get a rescue rabbit, you don't know the breed. You might be able to go to a pet store, but you might not know the breed. Now last, and even though I probably should have added it to the pet store list, is the feed stores. IFA, Cow Ranch, in some places, and Royal King, I know, all sell rabbits. Here's the thing, as long as the rabbit's healthy, okay. Because I've kind of seen it go both ways. But the thing is, often they only give the rabbit hay and nothing else. A rabbit cannot sustain itself on just hay. They need the pellets. Which is, I'm doing a diet video too. But a quick version, they need a complete pellet to be able to gain weight. And a lot of these companies only feed their rabbits hay. So that being said, that's as much time as we have apparently, so okay, so with all those decisions and on all the places on where you can go to get the rabbits, the pros and cons, I will say with breeders, yes, our rabbits are usually more expensive, but we've also put more time into it. And then we also have to pay for the food, the care. It just kind of all goes into it. But we are not in for it, or not in it for the money. Because honestly, breeding rabbits really does not. We don't make a money on, or make a profit on it. At least I haven't yet. So, with that being said, this is the end of the video. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, yada yada. Just so you can see that when the next video comes up, and I will be back next week. Bye.